Today on the LA Food Podcast, an on-the-ground play-by-play of what the LA Times is calling the hardest reservation in Los Angeles. Lele Dinner Club is the brand new project helmed by master pizzaiolo Daniele Uditi. There have been 3 seatings of this exclusive Neapolitan supper club to date. The waitlist tops 6,000 souls, and yours truly happens to be one of the very few Angelinos that have experienced what's quickly becoming the hottest ticket in town. On today's episode, I walk Father Sal through the entire experience, including what it takes to snag one of the coveted reservation spots, the ins and outs of the 10-course menu, and the unique communal aspect of this particular fine dining extravaganza. In part 2, we're joined by 13-time James Beard Award winner Steve Dolinsky for a preview of this weekend's Pizza City Fest coming to LA Live this Saturday and Sunday. More than 40 pizzerias from across SoCal will be on deck for what promises to be an epic weekend. I met up with Steve at LaSorted's in Chinatown to hear all about it, as well as his thoughts on the current state of LA pizza and how it stacks up against the other pizza cities in the US right now. Steve is Chicago-based and has literally written the book on pizza, so you're not going to want to miss his thoughts on the matter. As always, please consider leaving us a rating or review wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm your host, Lucas Servodio, and without further ado, it's time to chow down. The LA Food Podcast is presented by The Lonely Oyster. Unwind at The Lonely Oyster's Echo Park Night Watch. Did you know that every night is industry night at The Lonely Oyster, dear listener? Stroll in after 10 p.m. nightly for a one-of-a-kind experience designed for the night owls and hospitality pros. Indulge in $12 handshake cocktails, expertly crafted liquid chef concoctions, delicious late-night hot bites, and chef's choice dozen oysters. More than just a place to unwind, The Lonely Oyster warmly welcomes industry professionals, providing a space where like-minded individuals can connect, relax, and enjoy the camaraderie that comes with the late-night scene. Whether you're looking to kick back after a long shift or simply enjoy the vibrant atmosphere, late night at The Lonely Oyster is the perfect rendezvous for those who appreciate good company and great food and drinks. Don't miss this nightly affair and let the good times roll at The Lonely Oyster. Welcoming back to the LA Food Podcast, a man who is very much the Ike Barinholtz to my Seth Rogen.
Hey.
Father Sal, how are you doing today?
You watched it. You watched the studio.
I started it. I watched the pilot episode, and I gotta say, pretty good.
I've heard. I actually have only watched the pilot episode as well. We should keep track as we watch it along. I've heard Ike Barinholtz is the fucking MVP of that show.
Well, he's the MVP of everything that he's in.
In your opinion, yes. No, he's really great. He's like the perfect, supporting comedic actor.
Yeah. Do you think he could carry a show on his own?
Well, he hasn't yet, as far as I'm aware.
Except for Dinner Time Live with David Chang when he was on it.
Oh yeah, I did not watch that episode actually.
He carried
it.
Good.
No,
yeah.
even that, David Chang is a star. Ike is like the key supporting character.
Yeah.
That's a sweet spot, man.
Fair. That's fair. It is a fantastic Los Angeles show, as you would expect with it being about Hollywood, right?
Yep.
But it also showcases some LA restaurants and hotspots.
That's right. Yeah. Wait, which one? I'm trying to remember because it was a couple of weeks since I watched the first episode. Where do they go for that meeting with the agent?
For the meeting with Nick Stoller's agent, they go to the smokehouse in the Valley,
right.
Which I was watching it with my wife, and we both appreciated how geographically accurate it is. Because he's the head of a fake studio, but a lot of those studios are located in Burbank,
right?
And I want to say that the smokehouse is in Burbank, or it's in one of those neck of the woods of the Valley, basically. And so I appreciated seeing that. They also go to Charlize Theron's party at the Roosevelt Hotel, so it's fun to see that. So it's just kind of like one of those even if it might not end up being the best TV show of all time, for Los Angeles lovers, it's a good watch.
I mean, it hits all my stuff, right? I was telling Emily while we were watching, I was going to try and recognize every single restaurant that they went to, which, I mean, I don't know the smokehouse, but I was trying to point stuff out constantly. Did you catch a little Saul Easter egg in the first episode? Something that I'm particularly interested in.
Can I get are you really interested in what they do with IP in terms of like video game IP?
I mean, you know, I am just generous. I guess because I listen to a podcast called The Town.
Oh my God, I caught it. Yes,
Yeah.
So Seth Rogen gets named the head of the studio. It's not any spoiler. And he's driving around and he's listening to a podcast, which was not the LA Food Podcast.
No.
But it was The Town.
Yes, my favorite podcast. Probably the one I listen to the most right now, except for the Zach Lowe show. That's on my number 2. You're coming in steady at number 3. We are coming steady at number 3. I like blaming it on you. But no, yeah, great little show. And great for people who appreciate LA, which you purport to be, yet are somehow the only LA influencer who doesn't know what animal style is, apparently.
I know, but I'll be honest with you. I sort of semi-intentionally in my video kind of fucked it up because I knew it would drive engagement.
You are a fucking psychopath. Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding.
Click this shit. Are you serious?
I'm serious. I was at In-N-Out,
dude,
and I had this.
Can you admit this? Should you be admitting this?
I can admit it here, maybe not on my Instagram.
You took a dive because you knew it would get the audience.
Yeah, engagement.
Wow.
So
I was not expecting that.
I had a conscious thought while I was at In-N-Out. I was like, I always order an animal style. I should probably double check what animal style is.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? Actually, I'm not going to Google it because I'm probably wrong about it, and that'll just drive engagement. So it was like semi-intentional.
Okay, I see. So the reality is you did not know, but you were okay.
The reality
with
is,
not knowing.
Yeah.
Because,
I thought I knew.
Yeah.
But I fact check almost everything I put in those videos because I'm looking up the history of spots and stuff, right? But I conscientiously decided not to fact check that one because I was like, I'm probably semi off about this, but it's gonna.
You aren't concerned about your like credibility here?
Have you listened to this podcast? Clearly not. Credibility is not at the forefront of what we're doing here, my friend.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Speaking of LA shows, another show that's doing God's work in really showcasing LA spots is a show called The Valley on Bravo. Have you heard of it?
Not even a little.
So, are you familiar with Vanderpump Rules?
Yeah. I just learned that my girlfriend's brother and sister-in-law watch it religiously, which I was really surprised to learn because they seem like, you know, smart and like dignified people.
Unlike me and my wife, basically.
Correct. Yeah.
So, did they start pre or post Scandival?
I don't know. When was Scandival?
Scandival happened right around our wedding, actually, in March of 2023.
Okay. I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know why.
There's a lot of people. A lot of people started watching after that scandal where the guy
got so much attention. Yeah.
Tom Sandoval cheated on his longtime girlfriend with another cast member.
But why would people care? So I'm someone who has not watched Vanderpump Rules. I heard about the scandal.
Yeah.
Why would I be interested in watching after the scandal if I have no idea who the fuck Tom Sandoval or any of these people are?
Well, what ended up happening is for some reason, it really captured the attention just because I think the betrayal was so deep. Like he cheated on her with her best friend who was also on the show. And so a lot of people got into the show because of that and they started watching it from the beginning. In order to like develop, I think, that emotional investment.
They were like, we want to see just how fucked up just how bad he'd fuck over this chick. Let's find out.
Yeah.
My God.
So a lot of people did that. So that's why I asked when they started watching. But because all of those cast members have been on it for like 10 plus years, they're old enough where the show's premise initially was that they were working at a West Hollywood hotspot.
I know it, man.
Chasing their dreams, right? Yeah. And it's just not as cute when you're in your mid-40s.
Right.
So they did a spin-off show called The Valley, where a lot of the cast members have moved to the Valley.
Natural progression.
Natural progression of life. It's where everybody goes to die, right? And basically, in the spin-off show The Valley, they are always, every episode, at like 6 random Valley restaurants that sound completely AI generated that you've never heard of. And I'm just watching this show being like, this show has done more than all of LA food media combined to put San Fernando Valley restaurants on the map.
Oh, sure. Yeah. That particular subset, but maybe. Yeah. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad for you. Glad for the food scene in San Fernando Valley, I guess.
Huge, dude. Huge.
Yeah, big deal.
Speaking of food scene, any good eats lately, Saul?
I went and revisited the Simone food truck down in Silver Lake. I had a doctor's appointment. I swung by on my way back because after seeing the doctor, got to get a taco. That's just what he ordered. Had the soft shell crab, had the octopus barbacoa. Solid hit.
Did they still hit?
They still hit, but there's definitely like, you can tell the hype has subsided, right?
Okay.
Like there's like no, and like it was a little sadder. How's it a little sadder? No, to be very clear, really good. I would go back. I love the soft shell crab taco in particular.
Yeah.
Good experience. And also because there's no wait now, you can just like go grab it
Right.
and have a good time. But it was like a little bit like, like when we went to EatsCon 2023.
That's
maybe?
right. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the first time I tried it, and it was like,
I didn't realize that was the first time.
that was the first time I had Simone, and I was like, I mean, it really hit then.
Yeah.
Right. We had all the stuff, and then going back was like a nice little reminder. Still hits, but interesting to see like a post hype.
Yeah.
A little bit. Did they open a truck in Highland Park?
No. So I think they temporarily moved their truck to Highland Park.
Oh, okay.
But what they've also done is they've opened a second restaurant on Figueroa called Cardinal.
Got it.
Which is very, very popular. Apparently is excellent. I still have to go. But I'm wondering if, their attention is maybe split now and
Sure, yeah.
the food at Simone has suffered a little bit.
It hasn't suffered that much. It's not that much. But like it just like the something about the experience was a little dampened.
It's a topic I'm fascinated in, frankly, like what happens to restaurants as they grow.
Yeah.
Right?
I've heard this from you a couple of times. You seem to think that people can't walk and chew gum at the same time.
I mean, it's not that I think that. I think there's empirical evidence to support that.
I don't know, man. We just went to Matukai, which like literally I mean, again, in that case, it's the same model. But I mean, it was just as good as the original.
But they're a unicorn because they are operation first, in my opinion. Like, I think that they literally start with, hey, we have this amazing operation with this incredible relationship with this farm, which we're looking to showcase all our stuff. And basically everything they do is almost like an offshoot of how can we best showcase these products, right? Yeah. And so I think they only open when it really makes sense to open based on their pre-existing relationship. Yeah. Whereas what other people do is they see that they've, gotten some hype, gotten some momentum, and they want to strike while the iron is hot. And they just keep opening places and opening places and open, like Tacos 1986, great example of this, right? It was the tits when it first started. Yeah. And that is a phrase
you took me down. Yeah.
Didn't you think it was amazing?
It was very good. It was good it was a good taco.
It was a good taco, but it was also like the essence of it was cool, right? Like it was kind of just like this like roadside thing in Koreatown, like grilled over the mesquite, like they're slapping like fresh guac on everything. Yeah. Now it's a little like
corporate. Yeah. Well, so I guess this actually comes up. Well, sort of. It comes up a little bit in the book, the hospitality book that we're both reading,
right? Which we're slowly making our way through.
Yeah. I actually made a good shot. I've read a lot of it on the plane.
It's Will Guidara's Unreasonable Hospitality.
Yeah, which is like super old news at this point. But whatever.
Hey, we're not here to break news.
No. But it's like he calls it the difference between like such a creativity and structure a little bit, like the corporate structures of like a big operation versus like the creativity that happens when an individual chef or restaurant's able to like exert their vision. It seems like a bit of balancing that, where if you as you scale out, the operations required are much stricter.
Yeah.
Therefore, that means there's maybe less like quote unquote magic happening. But still, I actually think you are generally like you're right and wrong. I think you're putting too much weight on this. Like I texted you about Frontera, talking to you about Frontera, where I owe you dinner.
Yeah,
we're gonna go. And we saw a second location was opening, and you were like, it's fucking over, man.
I know.
It's not fucking over.
I worry. I think I've just been burned too many times.
I mean, first of all, the Frontera location here is an expansion in itself.
Yes, yeah.
So if it's good, like,
kind of. I don't think the place in Tijuana that the taquero came from is called Frontera. I think it's basically they're just like of the same family. Might be wrong on that, but it's a unique concept, and from what I understand. But I've just been burned too many times by like second and third locations sucking. I think the main burn I received on this front, umami burger. Do you remember umami burger?
Yeah. That really fell off. But I think there's more to that story.
There is, because it got bought out.
Yeah.
And like investors came in, they sort of reshaped their model. Yeah. Quality went down. It kind of became more of like a cookie cutter product. Yeah. But like when I see expansion, that's what happens to me. I start thinking like, what's behind this? Right. And what's going to happen? Like it's I'm a little traumatized.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, I mean, it's giving trauma vibes.
It's my trauma. Well, hey, what I've been eating recently is actually what I want to spend a little bit more time talking about today. So before we get into that, I just wanted to give a quick plug for today's interview, which is actually an interview with Steve Dolinsky, the organizer of Pizza City Fest, which is coming back to LA Live this weekend. Sal, how ashamed are you that you will not be attending Pizza City Fest?
Not at all. Well, first of all, I have a glorious dinner planned at Meteora this weekend that I'm very excited about. I also got some escape rooms to hit. I'm a busy man, bro.
Yeah,
like Pizza City Fest will have to wait, but you will be there.
I will. I'll be representing for the pod.
Yeah, thank you for holding it down.
You're welcome. Yeah. I am the more pizza forward host of this podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, by some distance.
Do you even like pizza?
No,
bro?
I do like pizza. Actually, Apollonia's I tried recently. Have you had Apollonia's?
Of course I have. What do you think?
Pretty solid. I had their vodka slice.
Okay.
Vodka.
Did you go square or slice?
Slice. I went slice this time, but I have tried the squares as well.
The squares is what they're famous for.
Yeah.
But their slices are a little underrated, I think.
The slices are really good. The slices are really good. And we're actually going to order some for Top Chef this week. Top Chef this episode is pizza.
Are you having like some sort of gathering that I'm not invited to?
Don't worry about it, man. I mean, some people will be there, some will not.
Just picturing you and the compliments of the chef's girl just like powwowing.
Great time.
Well, I'm at home with like a weed gummy watching it in bed.
Face on it. But we're going to get some Apollonias and watch that. So
nice.
Yeah, no, I appreciate a decent slice.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, there will be 40 more than decent slices in the LA Live tent over the course of the weekend. I'm going to let Steve give his whole spiel as to why you should come along, dear listener. I will be hosting a demo, Saul, not a panel.
Oh,
a demo.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah. I'm not going to be the one making the pizza. Okay. I just basically have to be up there doing like stand-up while other people make pizza.
Maybe I will. Now you see that, I might have to see this.
It's not so much stand-up as it is kind of like there's an outline to the conversation, but I'm really thinking of it as like improvisational jazz.
Yeah. You're like the late night host.
Yes.
The chef is on cooking.
Yeah. Kind of like when Jose Andres goes on Jimmy Fallon, right? Yeah. Is it Jose or Jose?
We should ask him. Steve Dolinsky, by the way, maybe was he the first ever interview on the LA Food?
I told him this, but I think he was like second, or I think he was the first interview. You're right.
Yeah. It wasn't the first episode. He was the first official. I remember when you got Steve Dolinsky and you were like, I got fucking Steve Dolinsky, and we were like, holy shit. 13 times James Beard Award winner, folks. He's a very humble dude. Like, when you talk to him, he's just like, yeah, I'm just a guy who likes pizza and organizes this pizza fest. But no, he's like one of the most respected food broadcasters in the country, honestly. Yes. So huge deal that he's in LA organizing this pizza festival. And honestly, I look down on you a little bit for not coming. Yeah, well, again, we'll see. This reveal that you're doing a demo, hosting a demo. That, I mean, like when you were hosting a panels, I was like, I've seen you host a panel.
Yeah.
Like picture that. Hosting a demo is intriguing.
It's different.
That could be entertaining to see.
Yeah. And then on Sunday, friend of the pod, David Turkel, is hosting a panel discussion with a couple really interesting folks. Chris Wallace from Aussies of Eats. Lawrence, the owner of Prince Street Pizza and Irv's Burgers, is going to be up there as well as one other panelist who's escaping me. But that panel is going to be all about social media and sort of like the confluence of social media and pizza, obviously with Dave Portnoy in the picture. Like it's an interesting discussion.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah.
So, just giving you a bunch of reasons to regret your life decisions.
Okay.
All right. Well, hey, look. An article dropped this week from Jen Harris in the LA Times. The headline is something to this effect. LA's most difficult reservation to snag right now is this Neapolitan supper club in West Adams. She's talking about Daniele Uditi's Lele Dinner Club, Saul, and I happen to be one of the few Angelinos that have already been to this dinner club. Can you believe it? Yeah.
Pretty cool, man. How many people were there?
So I went a couple weeks ago, and it was their second seating, and they do 24 people a seating. Okay. So to this, I think they had one seating after that. So to this day, what's 3 times 24?
72.
Are you sure? Yeah. It's not the LA Math.
Quick. It was quick, but it was not confident.
No.
I don't say that.
Well, it's not the LA Math podcast, so which honestly might be more interesting than this. But so 72 people have had the meal so far in the entire city of Los Angeles. And I happen to be one of those 72 people. So I thought it might be interesting to give you and our listeners a little inside peek at how it all goes down.
Yeah, man. Easy podcast for me. Lay down.
No, you got to think of interesting questions, okay?
Oh, okay.
All right. So basically, in order to get a reservation to this thing, you just got to watch their Instagram like a hawk. They announce when the reservations drop, and you just got to be on it to like click right when they drop them in order to snag your reservation. It's $250 a head. So you got to budget for that too. But that accounts for 10 dishes plus 10 tastes of wine.
Yeah.
So like,
oh, wow.
So food and wine is included.
Tastes of wine though, like so small.
Yeah, I'd say
actually don't mind that.
Yeah,
because wine pairings for 10. This actually happened to me when I went to Cole, where we had a wine pairing with the dinner, but it was full pours. And the meals are like 3 bites.
Yeah,
it's just 3 bites, and you're like, I got like this glass of wine to fucking kill, and we're not, and they weren't picking them up.
Well, then you're fucking hammered by like course 3 or whatever.
No, it's like impossible to do. So anyway, taste of wine, totally fine with it.
Yeah, it's like half pours, I would say, right?
That's
but so essentially what happens is you walk in to this like secret location that they tell you, although Jen Harris kind of blew up the fact that it's in West Adams. And you walk in and it feels like a car showroom, but like there's only one car in there for some reason. And that is the waiting room. You're basically served
there's a car in there.
There's for some reason there was a car in there. Maybe I imagine this, but I'm like 90% sure there was a car in there.
Okay.
I went with friend of the pod, Forking Around. So if he's listening, write in and let me know if I was imagining that or if that was for real. But we walked in and they hand you a limoncello cocktail, and you're immediately encouraged to start mingling with guests. So you got to come ready to play from like a social perspective.
Interesting.
You're
Dinner club.
Yeah, you're not just going to be socializing with the people that you came with.
Yeah.
You're like literally, we get there, I'm handed the limoncello cocktail, and this couple approaches Daniel and I and is like, so, how did you guys hear about this place?
We like your vibe, you two. What are you doing later?
I mean, honestly, in a different setting, it would have had that energy. But no, these were like very nice people, right? But like, it definitely throws you off if you're not expecting it. So you got to be expecting it, and you got to come with like your social shoes on, right? So you do this for probably like 10 or 12 minutes or something like that. And finally, Chef Daniele and the sommelier, Ferdinando Muscerino, they open the doors and they sort of reveal the dining room. Cool. So it's basically like a movie studio, which they've transformed into a dining room. Right. There's like 4 or 5, there's 6 tables of 4. Okay. And on the side, there's what looks like a like Food Network kitchen. It looks like a kitchen that's made for TV. Yeah. And it's really designed so that you're able to see everything that Daniele and his team are doing while they're preparing the meal. Yeah. You sit down and you're treated to a spiel from Daniele and Ferdinando, where they explain, hey, we're not like all the other restaurants, we're
cool restaurants.
Yeah, we do things a little bit differently here, as they all say. But Daniele explains that this is inspired by his family's restaurant in Naples, where essentially you don't get a reservation, you don't get like a assigned seat or whatever. You just show up, you find a seat where you can with whoever you find, basically, and that person you sit next to is your dinner companion for the night, basically. Yeah. Now, the thing here is they do assign you the seats, so you will get sat with the person you went with, but at your table, there will also be 2 strangers. Okay. And it's virtually impossible to not interact with those strangers throughout the course of the meal, right? Yeah. So we got like really close with the people at our table throughout the course of the meal. Luckily, Daniel and I are both very social people, right? So it went well. But definitely, if you have a little social anxiety, maybe pop a couple of pills before going on this one.
I'm imagining myself at this dinner, just nonverbal.
I think you would have hated it up until like pour number 5.
Yeah. That's about 2.5. Yeah.
I think then you would have started like opening up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
that's very cool, man. I mean, we're gonna talk about restaurant vibes in a second, and what strikes me most about what you've said so far is the unique vibe and experience of the dinner, right? Yeah. Daniele said in the article that Jen Harris published that he, like, most times when you go to a restaurant, you don't meet the chef, you don't know the story of the food. He wants you to like know the story. Plus, he's creating this unique environment of like socialization. I mean, look, man. Everything we hear these days, not everything we hear, but like one of the things we talked about a lot is like social isolation. Totally. How food brings people together.
No, this is CDC approved.
Literally. Yeah. I mean, this is more taking that approach, like really like bringing, It sounds like Daniele's trying to bring people into his home
100%.
and cook as if he's at home. And I don't know if he makes 10-course dinners at home, but like cook in the style of a home cooked meal. Almost,
yeah.
Right?
And honestly, that is also what the food echoes, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think in LA, we've become accustomed to these like funky style or antico nuovo style Italian dinners where it's excellent food, but it's not how we eat in Italy. Like, it's just not. Like we're not going out to having these like really fancy over the top dinners, basically. Daniele is really trying to capture the essence of like rustic, almost peasant food in Italy, right? Specific to the, like hyper specific to the region of Naples and the region in which Naples sits, which is called Campania. Yeah. So it's even cooler because it's not just Naples. It's broader than Naples, but it's still hyper regional to that region, right?
Yeah.
And so the dinner starts, you get a few focaccia courses. Obviously, Daniele is renowned for pizza. So he's got this killer focaccia recipe and he serves you 3 different types of focaccia. Yeah. One is with lardo. That was probably my favorite, with a little like fig jam. There was one with tomato sauce, of course. And then there was a third one too, which was broccolini, but it's like a Neapolitan version of broccolini, right, with a Parmesan fonduta that he puts on top. So right off to a strong start. He then transitions to a salad course. He does a Neapolitan style crudo, which is basically, instead of doing one fish, like, you know, you go to like Stir Crazy or something and you get the hamachi crudo, this is a combination of 3 different fishes, which are also chopped or cut a little thicker too. That's how they do it in Naples, apparently. They're, you know, they're not looking to like skimp on you and give you hyper thin pieces of fish. They want you to get that nice bite. From there, you transition into your pasta courses. And this is the really special part, because one thing that Daniele also says in the article, and he reinforces throughout the night, is that he wants this to be an interactive dinner, right, where you are encouraged to get up and go basically to the kitchen, speak with them, and he also puts you to work. So for one of the pastas, it's long pasta, which is basically broken by hand in order to become short pasta.
I thought this was taboo, man.
Well, that's basically a myth busting that he does, right? He says Italians never break pasta. He says, fuck that, we do. We break our pasta. And so he literally encourages the guests to break the pasta. Right. Free labor for him. Yeah. Fun for the guests. And it's really fun. Everybody's up there like breaking the pasta. At this point, you're lubricated, right? So you're having a bit more fun with it. Pasta comes out then. First course was this lardiata, which is basically like the Neapolitan version of amatriciana. You familiar with? Yeah. Okay, great.
I see marinara.
No.
Easy. Same,
literally.
Same shit.
Oh my God.
I nailed it.
Oh my God. I'm going to have to fire you for this podcast. It's one of the quintessential Roman pastas: guanciale, tomato sauce, pecorino romano. Yeah. Basically, the Neapolitan version, they don't use guanciale. They just use lard in order to flavor the sauce. Whoa. So it's this really porky, like tomato sauce, basically, with pecorino, a little bit of fresh oregano. That's the first pasta. Yep. Second pasta, it's literally the biggest flex ever, because Daniele serves you pasta fagioli.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this dish?
I've heard of that dish. I don't know why.
So in America, it's known as pasta fazool.
Uh-huh.
And it's essentially pasta and beans at a place like Olive Garden.
Yeah. We've had this. We've had this at an Italian restaurant before.
I think you're right.
I have.
Yeah. Well, you probably have had it at Olive Garden, because I know that you are. I
don't think I ordered pasta with beans as a kid, but I know yes.
Well, you know they have like unlimited soup and breadsticks and salad or whatever. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure one of their soups is like pasta fazool sometimes, because it's oftentimes just considered a starter soup at a lot of these Italian restaurants in America. But it is essentially just pasta and beans, right? And the way that he makes it, he uses his wife's family's beans recipe, and his wife is of Mexican heritage. Huh. So there's some really interesting like Mexican touches throughout the beans. And then he uses his classic Neapolitan technique to serve you like the pasta. And they serve it tableside, and it is such a flex because it is the most peasant dish possible, served in this like very unique setting, and it is the show stealer basically of the entire night. Like everybody's like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've had tonight. Yeah. And it's just beans, like alliums, like garlic and stuff, and pasta, and that's it. It's incredible. Yeah. So from there, they go to the second courses, but at this point, you're already a little full. However, they serve a branzino, which is fantastic. You would love it. Honestly, like I saw how Kev Eats review it. He went to the first seating. Yeah. And he said that was the showstopper for him for the night.
Yeah.
I think it would be for you too. Just a perfectly cooked piece of fish, which he puts in a Gosney oven to just finish off, basically. Sprinkles it with the perfect amount of salt. Super simple. Finishes it off with a little bit of beef after that, which I think wasn't bad necessarily. It was very good.
What was it? A steak?
It was like a slice of steak, right? With like a very like salt forward, almost like Asian tasting sauce. I think he calls it Italian chili crisp. So it's like garlic chili crisp, right? And it's a good dish. I just think it was the most unnecessary dish of the night, probably. But I understand $250. You gotta send people home with some red meat, otherwise they're not gonna feel like they got their money's worth. And then dessert comes around, and he's working with this pastry chef. I think his handle is Baking with Ish, but he's a Filipino pastry chef. And typically he makes a lot of these things with ube, but he makes a pistachio tart, which is with olive oil on top. Really good way to end the meal. All the while, you're being served this wine. You're being told the story of each wine by the sommelier. Yeah. You're being encouraged to like rub elbows with your neighbors. Yeah. You know, it's
encouraged to come up to the kitchen. It sounds like.
Yeah. It's a very unique dining experience. The food alone, I think, would warrant the price, but because it's such a unique experience, I'm really not surprised to see Jen Harris give it this rave review. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to be shocked if this doesn't make top 20 in the 101.
Well, a supper club, does that count for the 101?
I think it will. Because I think they've expanded their definition of what counts for the LA Times 101 best restaurants. And they have included pop-ups and things that are a bit more temporary in the past. Yeah. Do you remember that restaurant? What was it called? Porridge and Puffs or whatever? No. Phoenakite was one. They were all kind of temporary restaurants. Right. And one of them, I think, was named the LA Times Restaurant of the Year. So I don't think the LA Times holds itself to the standard of you got to be a permanent restaurant. Yeah. I think as long as he keeps doing it consistently, he'll get in the top 20. Like it's as far as Italian food in LA goes, there's nothing like this.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah. I mean, one of the things Jen says is that he's cooking like an Italian grandmother.
Yeah. And a lot of people say that.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I think a lot of people do it, but you have an Italian grandmother.
I had to.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry to scratch the.
you erased
Sorry to remind you about
grandma,
the loss of beloved family. Anyway, you grew up with the Italian grandma.
And grandma erasure, by the way. Yeah. You're only one? No, two, buddy. Two.
That's right. Well, wait. I thought your mom's American.
My mom. Okay, we're gonna cut this part out.
Okay, yeah. Trying to go down. Yeah. But anyway, you have two Italian grandmothers. Yeah. Sounds like you thought it met grandmother standard.
I think so. I think my grandmother would have been deeply impressed and deeply offended that she could make $250 serving her food. Offended in the best way possible.
Look, the socialization aspect is the only part that gives me personally pause. But as a concept and as another feature of the LA food landscape, this is fucking dope that this exists.
Yeah. It's really cool. Everybody, go follow Lele Dinner Club. It's apparently they've got a 6,000 person waiting list for an experience that's 24 seats a night. Yeah. It's going to be incredibly difficult to get in. Yeah. But if you can get in, go. Even if you're like, I'm gluten free or whatever, like just fucking go. Yeah. Like suffer the celiac,
Do you think that does the menu rotate, you think, each one?
I think he's going to make tweaks to it. Yeah. I think it is going to rotate heavily, actually, just because in the ethos of cooking like grandmother and cooking like his family, it's really
just think seasonal to an extent.
Seasonal, but also like I think he just wants to cook shit he likes, dude. Yeah. And like I think like stuff that he's passionate and excited about. So, I bet you I just listed off 6 or 7 menu items. I bet you like 3 or 4 of those are going to change. Yeah. So, but I think there's going to be some consistencies. I think you're always going to see some focaccia. I think you're always going to see like a salad course, a pasta course, and a second course, Yeah. But I think that's going to rotate. But I think that's kind of the magic of it too, is no two Lele Dinner Clubs are going to be exactly alike, right? Oh, my favorite touch too, they play Italian rap the entire time.
Nice.
Is that my darkest or brightest timeline? Being an Italian rapper.
Honestly. A lot of Italian rap playing at the house. I mean, look, it really seems like the ethos of the concept is like I said, Daniele bringing you to his home. Yeah. And like even the concept of mixing, like who's sitting together, right? Come over to my family restaurant or to my home, like you're just sitting with people you don't know, right? That's a part of the experience. Incredibly brave and bold thing to execute.
Yeah.
Right? Like to have it that interactive, it requires, but not, I mean, look, I'm Top Chef pilled right now. Like the season's going on, I'm watching a shit ton. It reminds me of like a Top Chef finale.
Yes, it's exactly what it feels like. Yeah.
That like, here's the story of this meal. Here's why I'm so proud to serve it. Here's how it reflects my life and experience.
Yeah.
But also like the level of, I mean, it's like Chef's Table Plus. Also,
yes. Yeah.
Right? Like,
and for listeners who aren't as Top Chef pilled as you, a reminder that for the Top Chef finale, the assignment is cook the meal of your life, basically, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it feels like Daniele is doing every night, which is really cool.
Pretty fucking cool, man.
All right. I think that's enough about Lele Dinner Club. Everybody go visit. Saul, you going to come with me next time?
Yeah. After the other 6,000 people who are on the list make it through, we'll be there in 2052.
Sick. All right, we're going to move on to Chef's Kiss Big Miss. Are you down?
Let's do it.
Priya Krishna of the New York Times penned a piece headlined, "Is the restaurant good or does it just look good?" In it, she speaks with restaurateurs and diners who are finding that design is becoming just as, if not more important, than food in order to get diners in the door. The idea is that especially in an era where it costs a lot to go to dinner, branding your pizza or red sauce Italian joint with a cute logo and having a thoughtfully designed dining room goes a long way towards making the experience of dining out feel worth it. Saul, is restaurant design equaling or even eclipsing the quality of food as a dining consideration, a chef's kiss or a big miss?
I don't know if I can even. It's not answered on that spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Of chef's kiss or big miss. It's just a really interesting trend and also an interesting reality of like, there are times when I make dinner plans with people who I know don't care about food that much.
Yeah.
Like whether it's family members or certain friends who I just know don't care. So I'm thinking, what's the vibe?
Yeah.
That's what's gonna make it right for them. There are people who I'm like, the less vibe, the better, as long as the food is good, right? So just an interesting phenomenon, and I think a really true phenomenon also too with like Instagram and how restaurants can get people in the door, and also like how just consumer choices, like when consumers make a choice about where to eat, they don't want to just, I think a lot of people don't want to make a choice just about what they're eating, but where they're going.
Yes.
And how they look where they're at, what that says about them.
Yeah.
So like, just a really interesting thing to for Priya to speak on. I think it's something that's really seems to be true. I think always true to an extent, but increasingly true potentially recently. I mean, Emily Wilson at The Angel, a Substack that we both love, is doing a survey right now of, and I don't know if it'll be closed by the time this episode's dropped, but if it's not, literally the second she's doing a survey of LA people about what they're looking for at restaurants. Basically, what do Angelinas want from restaurants right now? And the second question is, how important is a restaurant's vibe?
Yeah. Is
it more important or less important than the food? And I'll be really interested to see, teaser trailer, what the results are to that question.
We're anxiously awaiting for that survey to drop so we can talk about it on the pod. We were expecting it to drop today and it did not, so that's the frustration you hear in our voice.
That's not frustration, that's anticipation.
What's the difference?
The Angel, which is probably that's the best shit out there. Plugs every Sunday? Sunday or Saturday?
Weekend.
Every weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite thing to get in my inbox.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I feel like it's a really interesting point about design. For me, I think I always fancied myself a person that like didn't give a fuck about design as long as the food was good. But I do think in this like day and age, it really resonated with me when they were saying like, you're going out, you're paying a pretty penny, you want it to feel cool, right?
Yeah.
I think my biggest pet peeve is when restaurants try to phone in the design. Like they are clearly doing things that are like Instagram hype beast things, like putting up like neon signs that say feed me whatever and tell me I'm pretty, right? Like that kind of thing. Like that really gets under my skin. But otherwise, when restaurants make interesting design choices, I really appreciate it. Like Hot Tongue Pizza in Silver Lake, for example, they have a sick neon sign outside, but also inside they have this like mural that just says I'm tired in like really cool font. And I'm just like, yeah, I want pizza from a place that's tired,
Yeah, it speaks to everyone in some way, right? But it's also, I mean, like there's a restaurateur, a cook, Sam Yu, who's quoted in the owner of Golden Hof, New York NY Kimchi, and Golden Diner in New York, who says, once I flipped over as a business owner from being just a cook, you say, you know what? Food is only 40 to 50%. The rest is vibe and service.
Yeah.
So it speaks something true. I do wonder if these phenomena are somewhat focused in New York and LA.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about like Seattle, like how much people in Seattle really cared about like.
Dude, no,
like, it would matter a little, but there wasn't like a culture to me. Like, it wasn't really a culture of like, this is the vibey spot. A little bit.
I don't know,
it's
man.
Not entirely true. It's a little bit.
I'm thinking of that pizzeria we went to that's now closed in Seattle called Blotto, right?
Yo, yeah.
That spot was like
neighborhood spot. Yeah.
Really cool branding. Like they were selling their merch, and there was something that Priya mentioned in the piece where like one of the restaurateurs was like, before we even opened, we had a logo, we were selling merch.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really common these days. Like a lot of restaurants will drop the merch before they have even served a single customer.
Yeah.
And like to me, that's great. Like get the bag. You need to like diversify income streams. Yeah.
It is a business. Yeah. And hopefully, like in the case of Blotto, the food matches the cool vibes.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna give this a chef's kiss, even though it was a bad question, but that's on me. Sticking with the New York Times, Kim Severson wrote an article headlined "Meat is Back on Plates and in Politics." The article explores how, after years of plant-based being the next big thing in food, the rise in demand for protein, championed both by carnivore bros on the right and farm-to-table proponents on the left, has led to a huge rebound in sales and reputation for meats of all kinds. Saul, 2 questions for you on this. The first one is the supplanting of the plant-based lifestyle by a more meat-forward one a chef's kiss or a big miss?
I don't... Like, I don't know. There are a lot of ways to take it. In some ways, I'm like, I don't mind. I don't care as these preferences change. We at the same time know that consumption of meat is worse for the environment. If you care about animal welfare and rights, it's like obviously bad from that perspective. Depending on like it could be just like bar none, or like in many cases meat is not humanely raised.
Yeah,
right? And that matters. And I don't like. I believe. I mean, I don't know what I believe in terms of like the health benefits of protein, but people should be eating more vegetables from
yeah, probably
plants, right? So I mean, look, I don't think it's a bad thing just on its face, but yeah, maybe it does speak to a concerning trend from just the health of the people and climate. Well, that's bad. I guess it's kind of bad.
It sounds bad, although
animals, right?
The piece basically makes the case that like it's actually good for your health to eat a lot of meat, or at least that's a
So I do. I believe in I believe in an omnivore diet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come out on that.
Damn.
That people,
brave.
Yeah, but like so, but typically, the argument is generally that we eat way more meat. Like the balance of that omnivore diet is out of
yeah.
Most people, right?
Yeah. That's fair. Okay, so we're gonna give this a tepid big miss, or I'm so lost.
I think it's I don't care if it's justice. It's a slight. I think we should be aware.
Okay.
Like, yeah, we should.
I like that.
We should be like, because we talked last week about Molly Baz's new like plant-based burger, right?
Face plant,
right? I think it's a good thing that people are eating more like
have more alternatives.
Yeah, alternatives, and like are willing to eat mostly plants, or go like meatless Monday, right?
Yeah.
Meatless Monday is dead, man. It sounds like meat every day.
Yeah.
Is what the deal is.
Air day.
That's what it looks like, man. Carnivores for life. But.
Second question on this piece. The story tells the anecdote of a carnivorous married couple who at their wedding served a wedding cake made from ground beef covered with tallow whipped to look just like fluffy cream cheese frosting. Does this wedding cake sound like a chef's kiss or a big miss?
Miss me with that. I don't want to eat it. However, it's not too far. Like, look, it's pretty close to a keema aloo wedding cake. I don't know how. I'm gonna go ahead and guess this meat is not super well spiced. We're not maybe seeing a ton of flavor in this.
Yeah,
beyond just
it looks like some white ground beef.
Yeah, but I could salvage this. I could make it work.
All right, I'm still gonna give it a big miss on my behalf and on the behalf of humanity, frankly. If you can't eat cake on your fucking wedding day, like, what's the point? You know. All right. Next one. The Infatuation is bringing back Eats Con to the Barker Hangar in Santa Monica this upcoming June 28th and 29th. They just dropped the lineup and it looks sick as always. Couple cool things to note. Shake Shack is partnering with the LAFD to honor their crews and put out like a limited edition LAFD menu where the proceeds go to the LAFD Foundation. Secondly, they're also aiding relief and recovery efforts for those impacted by the wildfires, making it so that every dollar spent at restaurants on site will be matched and donated to local organizations that support small businesses that have been impacted by the fires, which is cool. So obviously that's a chef's kiss, and we will be in attendance, of course, at the event. But what I wanted to ask you was about the entertainment. It was announced that podcasters Chris Black and Jason Stewart of How Long Gone will be speaking on Sunday. Is this choice a chef's kiss or a big miss?
It's no Tom and Gail and Brooke Williamson, which we saw while we were there. I don't even know if it's a Rami level thing. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you specifically. I've not listened to How Long Gone since Emily put me on to their Lena Dunham interview. Yeah.
Which didn't go well, right?
No, I thought it was a good. I mean, actually, it was entertaining. It was an entertaining interview. Yeah. Emily loved it. Emily thinks that they vibe well with like female guests.
Interesting.
Which they don't have. I don't know how often that happens.
50% of the time.
Okay. Well, yeah. Pretty good.
I think they do a pretty good job.
I don't think we're hitting that.
I'm excited for this. No, we're definitely not. I'm excited for this. This is a big chef's kiss for me, but I am just worried that they're going to hate it. Like, listening to the podcast, I just feel like this is the kind of event that they shit on all the time. And also Chris Black.
Well, they could be ironic about it.
Yeah.
The thing I immediately texted you when you showed me this. So first of all, to be clear, like, big fans of Eats Con. We were literally talking right before this podcast about how Eats Con is probably the best.
Well, we were talking about how food festivals are so tiring. And
for you, yeah. You've been to a bunch. I don't usually go to them that many. Don't go to that many. But even of the ones I've been to, Eats Con stands out as like a particularly good one because of the way that they do like execute the food, and like you actually get like a proper dish from each spot. You're not having like a one biter or whatever. It's not too overwhelming. The entertainment is usually pretty good.
Yeah. And
the panels are cool to see. Ayo Edebiri was there.
That was cool. This year
blew up.
It feels like they downgrade a little with the entertainment.
Who else is there?
Josh Scherer of Mythical Kitchen.
I was literally just watching a Mythical Kitchen video.
You a fan?
I mean, they have this series called Last Meal. So
that's what they're doing there. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's a good fit for the infatuation. I'm just not that crazy about their content. Personally, I just find a little like...
I like the guy. I like the main guy. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I look forward to having him on a future podcast. Okay, next one. Anthony Porofsky of Queer Eye fame has been hosting cheese raves in New York City. It's exactly what it sounds like. Cheese-themed parties featuring illuminated wheels of Parmesan spinning on giant plinths above groups of people wearing ratatouille headgear while folks are slid dime bags of crumbled cheddar. It's incredibly important to just be surrounded by people right now, said Porofsky to Eater, whether that be through a protest or getting in a room with a lot of people who have a lot of dairy farmers and DJs. So, is the cheese rave a chef's kiss or a big miss?
It's corny. It's a bit corny. It's trying a little too hard for me. But you gotta like really be bought in. You gotta like really like almost suspend disbelief to be like, I care about this being a cheese rave. Yeah. I mean, look, the people have to still be doing drugs.
Yeah.
They can't do both.
They need dime bags with a lot more than cheddar cheese.
Yeah. I suspect that might be the case. I mean, whatever. Like, have enjoy cheese, eat cheese. But like, he was like the people have to be together, whether it's through protest or like a celebration of dairy farmers and DJs. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, what is the?
That sounds like PR generated.
Yeah.
By an AI PR agency.
That's like us going on a bar crawl in downtown and being like, look, we just got to be together either through protest or getting
fucked up.
One way or another. It's about the same thing.
LA Food Pod bar crawl?
Absolutely.
I think we should do it, dude.
Yeah?
We should do it.
Yeah,
okay, you heard it here, dear listener. We're doing a bar crawl. You're invited. All right, that's enough for Chef's Kiss Big Miss. I'm running dangerously low on time. Do you happen to have a shitty Yelp review of the week?
Hey, definitely. No, I don't. We just hosted Emily's brother and his wife for dinner on Sunday, and I definitely have something that would have been a shitty Yelp review from that, but I haven't thought of it specifically.
Keep workshopping it.
Yeah, I did cook. I cooked tacos again.
Oh, wow.
Shrimp and chorizo tacos and the sweet potato tacos again.
Wow. So you're a bit of a one-trick pony is what I'm
hearing. A little bit. I wanted to go somewhere safe, right? And the shrimp and chorizo, I don't know how well they hit. I'll be honest. Yeah. I made like a side of beans. They were completely useless because I didn't really give anyone like a dish to eat the beans with. Made a watermelon side of salad. I think that became a little soggy. I don't think I hit it.
So you're just you're the hostess with not the mostest.
Yeah. You know what? This is a pretty decent shitty Yelp review. Yeah. I made food that was like middling to okay.
You still get You still get 3 stars, dude. You cooked for people.
Yeah, it felt good to have something to do, right, to contribute, even if I need to like tweak my formula for how to deliver a perfect dinner party experience.
Keep working on it. Keep workshopping it. I got a quick one for you. I've been obsessed with Zanku recently.
We have that for lunch every so often at the office.
It's the #1 takeout I gravitate towards anytime, especially when I'm editing the podcast, honestly. Like the fucking editing stress just like requires garlic sauce, but it's made me addicted to that garlic sauce. And I recently discovered that at Whole Foods, they have a version called Toom. It's like I think it's what the condiment is actually called, I believe, in Israel.
Right.
But there's a brand called Toom. It's super cute, Toom. And they make like basically a slightly worse version of the Zanku garlic sauce. And so I've started just adding it on everything, right? Yeah. And the problem with this is the breath, right? I
see where this is going.
You literally smell like a Greek fisherman that died alone in a cabin and was discovered weeks later by like family members that were long lost. And I have been putting it on absolutely everything. And my wife has let me know, like, please don't, but I'm just addicted and I cannot stop. So yesterday I'd promised her I will not put Toom on anything anymore, but I was like a little stressed. We weren't eating dinner together. So I threw some Toom on some beautiful branzino sweet potato arugula thing I cooked up, right? Delicious. But then I go to give her a cuddle before I go play soccer. And she said, did you have Toom? And I said, yes, I had a little bit. Yeah. And she said, their slogan should be, even a little bit is Toom much.
That's fucking good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. We'll get you help. Don't worry. this is
my intervention.
We'll find Garlic's Anonymous. The good news is that you must have like no inflammation right now, right? You're completely
clean as a whistle.
Just flamed, bro. Like you're
deflamed.
Deflamed.
Yeah. Extinguished. Yeah, that's what I am.
Yeah. No, shout out Zanku. Shout out that garlic. Like literally, I had not had Zanku, and then I was working out of our office here in LA. People were like, "What's one want for lunch? Zanku?" And I was like, "What's Zanku?" And everyone just like gasped.
Dude, right, you cannot host the LA Food Podcast and not know what Zanku is.
I can't. I mean, there's so many reasons I should not be hosting this podcast. like endless. I was reading Emily Wilson's survey. It's like, what LA restaurant is most intriguing to you right now and why? Who's making the best food in LA right now? And I'm like, I've basically just been eating.
Fuck me if I know.
I've been eating like Tu Madre and fucking Holy Basil like every
well,
day.
Holy Basil is probably making some of the best food in LA right now. So
I'm a big fan. So listen.
Father Sal, this has been another epic episode. We'll be back right after the break with our interview with Steve Dolinsky. But I just wanted to say, you're the prize, baby.
You're the prize. Don't forget it, bro. You were the prize today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dear listener, I made a deal with my wife. She let me start a food podcast and eat ungodly amounts of noodles, pizza, sandwiches, and more under 2 conditions. One is that I never utter her name. The other is that I find ways to be healthy outside of my work in food. Being the fantastic partner I am, I found a few ways to up my health game. I exercise almost every day, I try to sneak in salads for lunch whenever I can, and I only ever snack on healthy foods. The macadamia nut has become an essential part of my daily routine with the best omega-6 to 3 ratios in the nut game, 8 times better than pistachios and 20 times better than cashews. At houseofmacadamias.com, they've got a bunch of different macadamia products that you can enjoy, like savory and sweet snack packs and chocolate-covered snack bars. One of the problems with macadamias I've found is that they can be expensive, but I'm solving this for you, dear listener, because as of today, all you've got to do is head to houseofmacadamias.com and use code LAFOOD to get a 10% discount on a healthy snack that also happens to be delicious. So what are you waiting for? Head to www.houseofmacadamias.com/discount/LAFood and go nuts. Welcoming back to the LA Food Podcast. I'm super excited because, Steve, you might not know this, but you were actually one of our first guests ever on the podcast.
Seriously?
Yeah. Back in 2023 when we launched, I think you were episode 2 or 3.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. And so what episode is this now?
This is now episode 123.
Wow. Impressive.
Welcome back to the LA Food Podcast, Steve Dolinsky. Steve, I'm going to break the ice with a question we ask all our guests.
Okay.
What'd you have for breakfast today?
Nothing. I typically don't do breakfast. I've been, as I've gotten older, I usually don't eat until lunchtime. So,
No way.
So the first thing I've had so far today is a passion fruit tart from Doubting Thomas,
Yeah.
which I get every time I'm in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I'll hopefully have a burger with you after this.
I just tried some of that passion fruit tart. It's pretty special.
The macadamia crust and
Yeah.
the passion fruit on the whipped cream. And
Yeah. I'm not even like a fruit tart guy, but I could definitely eat that again. But you've obviously, you live in Chicago, but you spend a lot of time out here. Obviously, you got family out here, but obviously to run this festival, you got to spend a lot of time out here.
Yeah.
Any good meals you've had while you've been here?
Yes, in fact, the meal at Budinoki in Silver Lake was so good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going back there tonight for a second time
No
because my
way.
son, who lives in Filipino Town, was like, I want to go. I haven't been there. So with mom and dad in town, he's like, I get to eat wherever I want to go. So going back to Budinoki for the second time.
Wow, high praise. What'd you get? What'd you like?
I had some sweet potato there, I think that was really delicious. And we had like a fried chicken thing and some hamachi, I believe. It's sort of Japanese forward, but with a little bit of Thai food.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of Thai. There was like a Thai sausage we had that was really good.
Yeah, that's their signature dish. The chef
The naan.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. The chef there, his mom used to make that in Virgil Village, that part of town, and sell it out of their apartment, I believe.
The funny thing, when I went there, they brought out a couple of gifts, and I'm like, hey, am I being made? Like, I'm a Chicago guy, not an LA guy. And I think his name was Eric. The chef said, no, my business partner used to work at Royster in Chicago.
Oh, no way.
Told me to keep an eye out for you, so.
And I think I told you this last time I saw you, but Eric is a Hillstone guy, so he has that training.
That's really good training.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Okay.
Steve, this is primarily an audio medium, so would
Okay.
you be able to tell the listeners at home where we're recording this today?
We are in the brand new LaSorted's, which is the larger location. The original on Sunset does not have a dining room. Here in Chinatown on Broadway, we have a dining room here, and I love this LaSorted's because it's Tommy's ode to his city, his baseball team, his childhood. There are pictures from his bar mitzvah, from the centerpieces at his bar mitzvah here. He's really, like the original high five between Steve Garvey and Dusty Baker, just all this cool Dodger memorabilia, and clearly lots of room for the pizza master, and we're sitting in the dining room. We're the only ones in the dining room here, but if you have not been to this LaSorted's yet, I would highly recommend it.
It's absolutely a must. Let's cut to the chase. Pizza City Fest is happening this weekend. For people who have been living under a rock for the last couple of years, what's your pitch? What is Pizza City Fest?
So Pizza City Fest is a celebration of the best pizza makers in Southern California. We started this in Chicago in 22. We wanted to celebrate, all the different styles of pizza we have in our city, and I think the same thing applies here. The cool thing about LA since the pandemic, as you know, a lot of really talented bakers and chefs have pivoted to really focus on pizza.
Yeah.
And so I saw this happening in 22 and 23. We launched here in 23, and I thought we put together a great lineup of 40 people over 2 days, and a lot of those people are back, and we've added probably 12 or 13 new ones this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I just continue to see the talent here grow exponentially, and so I think it's important. I'm just so sick of people outside of California sort of turning their nose up at when they say LA or hear LA pizza.
Yeah.
It's just not, it's like when they say Chicago pizza, it's a misnomer, it's a myth. They don't know what they're talking about. It's ignorance. So LA has this amazing pizza scene. It's the most exciting in the country right now. So this is 40 pizza makers baking live on massive commercial ovens over 2 days, baking fresh, but also having classes and seminars and demos in our theater to learn about how to make great pizza, but also making a $10,000 donation to Careers Through Culinary program.
Yeah.
It's like Culinary Careers program.
Yeah.
It's for high school
CCAP.
students, CCAP. And so we give them a donation of $10,000. And so
amazing.
we have a pizza box folding contest. It's unlimited drinking. It's unlimited pizza. It's unlimited desserts and sides and salads. It's really it's a massive celebration of all things pizza.
Yeah, that's really well put. Well, my next question was going to be to ask you, you obviously started this thing in Chicago. Why did you pick LA next? But you've kind of already answered that.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to go to New York because I think if a Chicagoan opens up in New York, you just open yourselves up to just so much criticism.
Yeah.
From the get-go. And it's not so much skepticism as it is cynicism. Like they're
Yeah.
really looking down their nose, oh, you're Chicago, what do you know about pizza?
Well, speaking of pizza.
But here we go. This is this beautiful cheese slice from Tommy's. So the thing about a cheese slice, by the way, you can't hide behind anything. And I know that there's for sure grande cheese on here and most likely Stanislaus tomatoes. And he's got this extra long fermentation, a couple days. And when you pick up this pizza, by the way, you look at the undercarriage, it's got the mottling and the 3 shades of brown. And you can crack it in half on the heel and it holds its shape and there's no flop. I mean, this is just, can I take a bite of this?
Absolutely. You have to. Get that ASMR on the mic, you know?
And so, this is a great thing about this pizza. When you're at Pizza City Fest, you're eating this right out of the oven. It's the same thing. So they bring the pizzeria to you at LA Live. But the reason I wanted to come here and not anywhere else is because nobody was talking about it, man. Yeah. Nobody was celebrating it. Nobody was having a festival. I think LA Times had something along those lines that didn't go well because the ovens didn't work.
Yeah.
And you really have to have the infrastructure, the production know-how, the expertise, and the ovens and the power. And we learned that the hard way in Chicago. We had problems with the power generator. We had problems with an oven. It's like we learn every year.
Yeah.
And for some reason, we came to LA and they're just like, they hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
You know, Carol Chin is our producer, and Victor from LA Live. The two of them are just masters of what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so it goes really smoothly. But I think we wanted to come out here because nobody had been celebrating pizza in LA.
Yeah. No. Well, we really appreciate it. I was banging on the drum for LA Pizza back in 2021, and I feel like there was this sort of like notion of, LA is a secondary pizza city, very much so. But now, tides shifted a little bit.
Well, it's also like when people from the Midwest, where I live, say, "Oh, LA, isn't it all gluten-free and vegan and like no carbs?" And yes, that's a part of the culture here, but it's a part of it. It's not the whole culture. Yes. And when I talked to Stephanie Izard, from Girl and the Goat, she's got a location here in the Arts District and one in Chicago. And she told me point blank, I sell more bread and more carbs in our LA location than I do in Chicago.
Yeah.
So what does that say? People out here love to eat. Down the street from that restaurant is Bevel. I mean, you know, it's like there's so many great restaurants here. That's also why I use this as an excuse to move to LA for a month a year so I can eat here.
I was going to say, for that reason, shouldn't you do it earlier in the year, like February or something, to get away from the snow?
Look, it's so funny you mentioned that. That was the original plan, to come here in February so I get out of Chicago. Yeah. And then Carol was like, I've been living here for a while. I think that's kind of our rainy season.
Yeah.
And then it became, that's the award season. And then it became, it's Easter, and then it's spring break, and then it's Coachella 2 weeks in a row. And then so it's like we got to do it at the end of April.
Yeah, smart. Well, let's talk specifically about pizzerias. This will be my 3rd year going, and I have to say, from year 1 to year 2, I was a little concerned, is it just going to be the same exact experience? Yeah. And it very much was not. I feel like you guys did things to bring new things in, new attractions, new pizzerias, and part of that is just a function of there always being new exciting pizza in Los Angeles, or seemingly being that way. What are some of the new exciting places you're excited about this year?
Well, first of all, there's always a collab going on in this city, which does not happen in Chicago.
Yeah.
Last year, I think it was Jitlada and Prime, right? They did a Thai curry pizza. This year, James, who's a great food writer in Long Beach, is collaborating with Speak Cheesy, and they're doing a Cambodian pizza.
Oh, James Tier?
James Tier,
nice, yeah.
It's got morning glory and coconut milk, and I mean, come on, that doesn't exist anywhere else in the country.
Yeah.
So that's going to be exciting. Having the Pie Trap from Covina, big New Yorker, Paul Cody's going to come here, with his big New York swagger, and he's bringing his New York style pizza. Yeah. Same thing with the Vito de Candia at Angel Street in Venice.
Right.
New Yorker, grew up on Long Beach in New York.
That guy's from New York?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
The guy exudes New York.
He is so central casting, right? He's doing a grandma style. So again, we've never had a grandma style at this event. And for the folks who don't know, it's basically like a Sicilian done in a rectangular pan, but you're not letting it proof or rise at all overnight. You're just going to do it the same day. So it's a crisper, thinner, tighter bake, but it's crispy. He's doing a cheese slice with fresh basil and just a bit of tomato sauce.
Yeah.
So having Angel City is going to be great. Little Dynamite down the street from him in Venice, another new place, doing a deep pizza, doing it like in a pan that you wouldn't expect typically from a guy on the West Side.
Yeah.
So just so many of these great places.
That one is like the most antithetical pizza to the West Side. It's so cheesy and over the top. I mean, it's delicious, but to the point that Stephanie Izard was making, this ain't your grandmother's LA anymore.
No, they want the bread. They want a big bite.
Yeah.
Another West Side guy is Fiorelli.
Oh yeah.
Ever been to him it's in that Cook's
Michael.
Garden?
Yeah.
Amazing talent. Again, fine dining background, and he's doing this sausage and kale pizza right out of. Well, now again, he does it at a wood burning oven in Venice, but at our event, we're going to put him on an electric oven, proving that you don't need to have a wood fired oven for everything. For that style of pizza, these electric ovens that get to 950 Fahrenheit, they do just as good a job.
Plenty. You mentioned the demos earlier and the speakers. What can people expect on that front?
So we always lead off with the Dough Whisperers. That's the first panel on the first day at 2 p.m. Tony Gemignani, the GOAT, right? From San Francisco is coming down. Capos, exactly. By the way, if folks listening to this, if you like pizza, if you haven't been to Tony's in San Francisco, just consider that like a Valhalla. You have to go there. That is a bucket list visit. He's got like 8 ovens doing 12 styles of pizza.
It's insane, actually.
It really is
From
insane.
From an operational standpoint, it's like a nightmare.
I don't know how he does it, but it's like a kid in a candy store. I went in there. I was there speaking at an event, and I happened to go in with my wife, and we're sitting at the bar, and he saw us, and he's like, I'm sending you guys a pizza, right? I'm like, we just came for a drink. I wanted to show Amy the space. He's like, no, he sent me out like a Brooklyn-style beautiful pizza. So anyway, Dough Whisperers with Tony G, Daniel Holtzman from Danny Boys.
Of course.
Also just a kind of a legend in terms of like he did the meatball shop in New York, worked at La Bernardin. And then Noel Broner from Slow Rise Pizza. So 3 experts talking about dough. We've got another one with Stephanie Swan, who's the publisher of Modernist Pizza, has a cool one with Jelana Miller from Miller Butler in San Pedro, and Roxana Julipat from Friends and Family.
Oh, yeah, nice.
They're going to talk about how to make pizzas with different types of doughs. You're going to be doing one with the guy from a demo with Hot Tongue and Da Michele, right? So 2 very different styles of pizza, but showing that you can bake different types of pizza in different ovens. I think a lot of people who attend probably have a portable oven, maybe like an Uni or a Gozni. And so how do they work with those? But also, how could you work with your home oven and crank it to 5 1/4?
So it's perfect because it's perfect whether you just like eating pizza or whether you're actually interested in making pizza. There's learning to be done. There's experimenting, trying to be done. You're trying to reach all those different audiences, right? And I feel like you did this because you kind of identified a need for this type of event. There wasn't really anything quite like this, right?
Well, there's the B2B, which happens as the Pizza Expo in Las Vegas, which is 3 days, and you got to be a pro and you got to be in the industry. And then there are just a lot of these weekend warriors and people like me who just want to make interesting pizza at home or just want to like understand pizza better, right? What makes great pizza? And so that's this is the B2C, right? So it's the consumers who come. But also, it's interesting because the last panel on Sunday at 3 o'clock is David Turkel, our friend, who's going to be moderating this. It's
People
interesting.
on this podcast know him very well.
Okay. So, it's interesting. It's Andy Wang, who's a local food writer, and writes for The Observer and I think Forbes. And then we've got Lawrence Longo, the CEO of Prince Street. And then we've got Chris from Ozzy's Beats.
Of course.
So we're going to talk about how to move the needle, how to get attention for your business, whether it's through influencers or through regular traditional media. Like that's a big thing there are so many pizzerias out there now. How do you cut through the noise? And so do you get people's attention by hiring an influencer? Do you collaborate? Like, I can't tell you how many people have asked in the last 2 weeks on our Instagram, can we collaborate with you at Pizza City Fest? I'm like, well, what does that mean? Well, we want free tickets. And we're going to create content. Like, I don't really need the content at the event. I'd like it beforehand.
Right.
Could you come do something at a pizzeria like we're here at LaSorted's? Could you meet us somewhere? Could you come to our media day? If they don't want to do that, then we're not interested. But like, it's interesting to hear how people approach this collaboration idea. Or should they just hire a marketing person and pitch to the media?
Over under 18, how many times do you think Dave Portnoy is going to be mentioned on that panel?
Oh my God, over. Because he gets mentioned on every one of my pizza tours in Chicago.
Also because I think Chris Wallace actually, he got one by Pizza Review. And overnight he had to like hire more staff and stuff. So
it is amazing how that guy moves the needle. And you never know when he's going to show up. Like our friend Michael at in Nashville. Oh my God, I can't think of the name of the place now. He just got reviewed as well.
And saw the boom.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
Spike.
Crazy. Anyways, so obviously I think tickets are $125.
$125 Saturday, $115 Sunday.
Okay.
But again, unlimited alcohol, all drinks, all pizzas, all sides. Like on Saturday, Ronan's doing their Caesar salad. We've got ice creams and cookies, and so that's all included. Includes the classes too. But $125 on Saturday, $115 on Sunday.
Oh, we were talking about this last time we grabbed lunch, but in LA, that's the price of like an average dinner these days. So
I know. That's why I can't. And we're giving $10,000 to the charity, so it's a good cause.
Yeah, it's a good cause, people. If you have Sticker Shock, get over it because honestly, it's really not expensive. I think I spent that much at a Thai restaurant last night.
And for Angelinos, this is a better way to approach it. Saving you the drive. Because you are never going to drive to Guadalupe. How often are you going to go to Santa Barbara to try Bettina's Pizza?
Never. I mean, once a year.
Yeah, but you get it here. Truly, in Dana Point. Tribute in San Diego.
Yeah.
Like they're all here.
Yeah.
So that's the cool part. That's what you're saving money.
Yeah.
And time.
It's true. So
Yeah.
those you've sold it pretty well.
Thank you.
I would be going even if I wasn't doing the demo
Okay.
with Alex and Giuseppe. But I want to ask you a big picture question for a moment.
Well, I eat the pizza as well. I mean,
Yeah, while
I got,
you eat the pizza-
I got to eat more pizza here.
Also, I'll stretch it out so you can finish your
Thank you.
bite. Okay.
All right.
You've already touched on how Los Angeles' pizza scene has undergone this revolution and renaissance, how it probably deserves more respect than it currently gets.
Yep.
You've literally written the book on pizza. A lot of the phrases that I use when I'm thinking about pizza, one bite ratio, pizza I grew up eating, they're all literally terms that you yourself have coined. You know a thing or two about pizza around the country. Where would you say that Los Angeles ranks compared with the other cities in the United States?
I'm not going to just say this because I have an event here and I stay here for the month. I think it's the best pizza city right now.
Okay.
And no disrespect to Chicago or New York or Philadelphia or anywhere else you like to eat pizza or New Haven. Those other cities are very tradition bound. If you came in and do a different style, you're not typically respected or tried as well or given as much of a chance.
Yeah.
And in New York, and they do pizza extremely well there, but there are 5 styles of pizza.
Yeah.
Right? There's a slice, there's a square, there's an artisan, kind of a fancier one.
Yeah.
There's Neapolitan and grandma.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
And in Chicago, we have those, and we've got stuffed and deep pan and deep dish and tavern style.
Right.
But in LA, now granted, LA does not have tavern style. There's only one place I've had it at Hot Tongue on a Monday, which is as good as anything in the Midwest. I know Quarter Sheets does it on Sunday, but they cut it in wedges like Colony Grill, which is not a fail, I think, for me. So, but you can't find that, and you really can't find deep dish or deep pan done well here either.
Yeah.
But the collaboration, the creativity, the deep dive on the dough making, that doesn't really exist anywhere. And this is, of course, the bleed over from San Francisco and Northern California and that bread culture. That's what I think. Pizza is hot bread with some topping.
Yeah.
And I think the base of every bite is going to be that hot bread.
Right.
And so I think it's being done really well here right now. Other cities aren't embracing like they are in Southern California.
Yeah, that's very well said. The other thing that strikes me about LA's pizza scene is I feel like there's a ton of camaraderie between pizzaiolos and pizza shops. Like you'd think that they're all kind of like vying for the same customer, but it really feels like a fraternity / sorority of amazing pizza makers that really support each other. And we definitely saw that with the fires with the LA Pizza Alliance.
Yep.
Is that the same in other cities, or is there something unique about LA in that way?
No, it's unique here.
Wow.
I mean, there's definitely a camaraderie in Chicago, but it is certainly more competitive there.
Yeah.
I don't know as much about the New York scene, but from what I've seen, it does seem to be a little bit more competitive also, just because it's so expensive to set up a shop. It's so difficult to do something. But I do know that, like, for example, Scar, I think, helped out Massimo at La Industry in Brooklyn to get going because he didn't know what he was doing. So there are stories like that. But in general, you hit it on the head. LA, they're very collaborative. They're very supportive.
Yeah.
Here's a great example. Just yesterday, I got an email from Steve Petromale.
Uh-huh.
You've been to Petromale, right?
Love Steve.
Friday only in the Venice Church parking lot. He said, I can do the event, but I'm not able to do this other thing you want me to do because I've lost 2 guys. And I'm going to be really short-handed. I don't think I can handle it. I'm going to be there because I committed, but I don't think it's going to be difficult for me. I sent a text out to 5 of my VIP guys, like Triple Beam and Fire and Wood and Tommy here at LaSorted.
Yeah.
Within 5 minutes, they had him sorted.
Wow.
They had him.
They had him LaSorted?
They had him LaSorted. That's what that's what Tommy. That's where the name comes from, right?
Yeah.
So I said, you're going to sort this guy out.
Yeah.
And these guys came together and they got him the help he needed.
Yeah.
You wouldn't find that everywhere else.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's truly amazing. Well, hey, thank you, Steve, so much for coming on. And thank you for bringing this to our city, honestly.
My
We're
pleasure.
very lucky to have it. Final question for you.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're here, you're enjoying the culinary scene. I know you're eating out a lot. What are 3 of the best meals you've had since you've been here?
Wow. Budinoki was one of them. Last night at Rustic Canyon in Santa Monica. And probably Junghyuk Jun, I think it's pronounced, a Korean barbecue off of like 6th and Western or something.
Big Korean barbecue guy.
I love Korean food.
Yeah.
I could live here.
Yeah. Oh, well, maybe you should.
Yeah, maybe I should.
Any final words of wisdom for our listeners?
No, just come check out pizzacityfest.com. It's a great time. Don't worry about the price. You get your money's worth. All the social media stuff afterward is like, what a great event. I wish I would have known about it earlier. So
Yeah.
just go. You're going to have a great time.
I'll see you there, dear listener. We're linking it all in the show notes. Steve, thank you for joining us.
Can't wait to see you, man. Thanks.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the LA Food Podcast, dear listener. Thanks as always to Father Sal for making the time for us, and thank you to Steve Dolinsky for joining us as well. I hope to see you at Pizza City Fest this weekend. If you do go, don't hesitate. Please come over and say hi. If you like what you heard here today, dear listener, please go to wherever you listen to podcasts, leave us a rating, a review, subscribe. Seriously, all that stuff really helps us make our way up the charts, both on Spotify and Apple. We'll be back next week with another epic episode, but if you're looking for me in the meantime, you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, and even our website at the LA Countdown. That's TheLaCountdown. You can also find us on Instagram at LA Food Pod. That's LAFOODPOD.